Hello, everyone. It's Mark Cook again. I'm the CEO of Shiny Shoe. We are the developers of Monster Train. Welcome again to another developer stream. Today is June 18th, I think. I'm going to look at my calendar. Yes, it is. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about the game. Since release, we have launched, I think, 10 updates, most of which have been focused around fixing bugs and adding small features to improve the quality of life based on user reports and requests for what you guys wanted to see in the game. There's been a little bit of balance tweaks, but there is more to come. There is content to come. We've talked a little bit about future content plans on stream, and although I can't tell you everything about what we have planned, because there's still, things are in the planning phase. Certain things are, we're not sure if we want to completely commit to things or not. But we are adding new content, and there will be new content coming out soon, TM. And I've got a preview of a little bit of that today. So we're going to play a run with some of the new features in the game. We're going to do a custom challenge. This is going to be in the beta, so you can't join this one. You're going to see the share code on the screen in just a second, but if you're playing the normal public version of the game, you won't be able to join this. But anywho, let's jump over and take a look at what we're going to be doing. I got a question. I'm going to answer the question first, then we'll jump over. So Tahitsu says, do you plan to add support of previous versions of the game, similar to Dead Cells? Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Add support of previous versions to the game. I've played Dead Cells, but it's been a while. Do you mean like the ability to play old tuning? Like previously set up tuning values for cards or champions and that kind of thing? If yes, there is no current plans to do that. I'd be curious to hear thoughts as to what the value is to players for that. So yeah, feel free to share those in Discord, here in chat, and so on. Inhaled Parasite says, how do I get to the final round? I always die on the 6th round. Still pretty new to the game. Well, let's see if I can give you some tips while I'm playing, although I'm going to play a weird run with some mutators here in a second. But I think the key is really trying to come up with a cohesive strategy for your deck, which to me is all about purging cards that are not useful for your strategy, upgrading cards that are like the key to your strategy, and really trying to craft your deck around and your artifact choices around like a consistent strategy. And I know when you're like new to this genre or new to a game in this genre, sometimes it can be like you might feel like you're just trying all kinds of stuff and it's all over the place, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool to like get experience with all the different game mechanics. But I would encourage you to try to like focus around a single kind of theme to your deck and make sure you are purging and getting rid of cards that don't fit into that theme. All right, Puzzle says, I love this game. Thank you very much. Any plans for an endless mode or anything of the sort? Just for funsies, no achievements or anything. Yes, so that's one thing that we are considering. We're definitely looking to expand all modes of the game with updates. So we're going to expand single player. There's going to be more things to do. If you don't want to play multiplayer and you just want to focus on other things to do in single player, we're going to add more to that. We're looking at adding things to multiplayer, and that's what we're going to preview a little bit today with some new mutators and custom challenges. And we're just looking at like a spectrum of ideas to continue to create like reasons to play the game long term. And so, I'm excited to share them with you, and I've got one small part of that to share today. All right, and Krima the Mask says, is the Sentient a rebel against the rest of the Awoken faction despite being the champion for it? Interesting question. I don't know the answer to that one. So I'm not the lore master on the team. That's a person whose nickname online is Redbeard. They did a AMA earlier on Reddit. If he was online, he could answer that question. If any of the other developers on the team are in the chat, maybe they can answer it too. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. But I want to know too. All right. I'm going to jump over to the game and show you what we're going to do. So we are going to play a custom challenge. And this is a little preview of one of the upcoming content updates. It's going to add a lot of new mutators. Now, mutators, if you haven't seen them before, are things that modify the game in various ways and they are used in the daily challenge. The daily challenge has an algorithm that chooses 3 mutators that tries to make them balanced, and you can use them in custom challenges to set up whatever kind of challenge you want. So I've manually set this one up. I don't know if this is going to be balanced or not, but this is just to show off some of the crazy ideas here. So the mutators we have, these are all new. At your service, start with 2 additional train stewards and advanced prototype. Advanced prototype is an artifact. Train steward units gain damage shield 2 and multi-strike 1. We've got the Big Chungus mutator. All units start with +1 capacity. And we've got Fallen Champion. Your run starts without a champion. And I've got my primary and allied clans set to Hellhorn and Awoken. So, and we're on Covenant 1. So this is a weird challenge. It's definitely a weird challenge. And I've kind of like themed it around, what if all you had was Big Chungus train stewards? What could you do with that deck? So we've got no champion. There's going to be no Dark Forges in this run at all. All of our train stewards are going to be bigger. So Big Chungus is not a good mutator. It's just straight up bad. It just makes your units worse. But we're going to start with 6 train stewards. Let's see if we can do something with this. This might be really hard. I might die early, but let's give it a shot. All right, what cards did we start with, and do these really synergize with what we're doing? So we've got Seraph the Chaste. Removes buffs, cleanses buffs and debuffs. So that's not great, considering we're probably going to be focused on doing some of that. Ritual of Battle, add Rage 6. That's decent, because we want to buff our train stewards, at least for now. Vine Grasp, always a handy utility card. And Impressive, Sacrifice Imp. That is probably not going to be a useful card for this run. So let's see what we get. All right, here's our just reminder that we've got At Your Service, Big Chungus, and Fallen Champion for our run today. Let us see what our artifact pick is. Okay, we've got Imp Sickle and Priory's Cloak. So Imp Sickle, at the start of a turn, add a random imp unit to hand. This is usually a fantastic artifact. However, we've got Big Chungus. So all imps are going to take up 2 capacity, so it's a little bit worse because of that, for sure. Or maybe even a lot worse, but they still have so much utility, I'm tempted for it. And Priory's Cloak, when a friendly unit is healed, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to the amount healed. We don't have a ton of healing right now, so we've got a few restores. Here's the reminder of this blinking red that we've got these guys have their capacity, the train stewards, negatively impacted by Big Chungus. But we've got multi-strike and start with damage shield 2 from advanced prototype. So I think I'm still going to go Imp Sickle. Let's try it. All right. Ryu Kurai asks, so how would you say your design approach is in regards to balance tweaking, given that it's not quite like a traditional multiplayer game where you can see more direct comparative perspective? So something being too strong and too weak may not be as evident. Well, there's really 2 ways that we are approaching balance. The first way is player feedback. So if you have specific feedback about something, please join us. The best place is in our Discord community at discord.gg/monstertrain. But if you don't want to join that, the other way is to give feedback in-game. So not everyone may know this, but there's a button you can push in the game. It's mapped to F8 by default. You can type in whatever you're feeling, blah, 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 and then you can press submit, and that goes to the development team. So if you have feedback on something, feel free to use that as well to talk to us. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is we have anonymous kind of data collection about what's going on with people's play styles, card picks, artifact picks, blah, blah, blah. Anything you can think of that's like gameplay related, we're tracking it. And we look at that data and we look to see things like how popular is a card or an artifact. We look at what its like winningness is across different covenants. Like if you had that card in your deck, how likely is it that you would have won that run? So there's like a bunch of different signals that we try to analyze to look at like what's interesting or not. And we're probably going to make balance changes on things, even if we think they're good, but they're just like really low picked. If it's like really, really low picked, we'll just change it anyways just to spice things up and keep things interesting as we move forward. But really, that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking for things that are like unloved, unpicked, and trying to either redesign those or improve them in some way. We're also looking for things that are like outliers, like way too good, and then we try to nerf those to get to a point where things are feeling good and cohesive together overall. All right, and Aortic 1993 says, are you going to implement Steam Workshop and modding? Would like to see some creativity from the community. So we have a modding channel on Discord right now where there are people who are working on various mod ideas. If you'd like to join that community, feel free to join us at discord.gg/monstertrain and then join that channel. And yeah, it's like we're kind of just right now from the dev team's perspective, we're doing some like little small things to support the modding community and want to see what they come up with. And if it ends up being like there's cool stuff coming out of that, then supporting Steam Workshop is the logical next step to make those things easy to distribute. So we're definitely into the idea and love like the kind of concept of extending the longevity of the game through mods. All right, I'm going to take the Mark of Invasion trial and let's give it a shot. And Cream of the Mass asks, do you think every run is winnable at high covenants? Or that some runs you can't win, but a skilled player can still win most runs? I think probably at high covenants, not every run is winnable. That would be my guess. I don't have proof of that at all, but we do have proof from one of our private beta testers, who's one of the best people at the game that I've seen personally, proved that we think every single Covenant 1 run, without mutators, is winnable. I think he has something like a 50-run win streak or something on Covenant 1. So, we've heard some people out there saying like, oh, if you get bad cards at the start of your Covenant 1 run, you should just reset. It's like, well, you can do that, and we're not going to stop you from doing that, but we think every single one of those runs is winnable. Now, at Covenant 25, I'm not so sure. All right, what do we get? Molting Imp is great for wiping out a wave of these guys. Let's see, what do we want to do here? I might use them here. And I want to save some space for playing a Train Steward, which I guess I'll do here. To make sure that guy doesn't get into my pyre out of Ember. So turn down the speed just a little bit. All right. Another Molting Imp. Nice. Perfect. Well, I'll just wipe these guys out then. See, Big Chungus is really biting us in the ass right here, though, because I want to put more Train Stewards into the same room, but I can't. If I play one here, they've got 20 damage, he's just going to be dead, so there's no point in doing that. So we've kind of got a pointless hand right here. Can't play him here either. Maybe I should have played, I probably should have played the Molting Imp on the floor below. Another Molting Imp. What in the heck? Alright, well, can't play him there either, so at least kill one of those guys. What do I want to do? Do I want to start... I could just start raging this guy up. I'll probably play another one. I'm going to hold off on playing the Molting Imp. I might be able to get a different imp that's more useful down there. Okay, Welder Helper's not bad for creating a blocker, but Molting Imp's also great for wiping this out. I think I will Molting Imp this room, played him in front so that he chump blocks at least one attack. I can get rid of both of these guys so that I don't lose damage shield on my Train Steward. Not sure if that's the right decision, because now I can't play... yeah, I might... I don't know. I really want to get a Train Steward in here. I'm going to do that. Alright. Alright. Ooh. Okay, well, I normally would Ritual, but I think it's going to be even better to Impressive. I said this card was going to suck at the beginning of the run, but that was before I knew that I was going to get Imsicle. So, this is actually decent now. Alright, I'm going to Rage up, and then let's kill that guy. And now the Inquisitor is dead. Beautiful. Alright. Let's see what cards we get. Clan Pack. Tiresome Climb. Ascend a unit and apply days 2. Another Ritual of Battle. Definitely don't want that. And Fortify. Apply Armor 5. Fortify is not bad. I do like Tiresome Climb. We definitely have like Ember challenges right now, though. We've got 2 of these Ritual Battles. I think it's highly likely we're going to need to take, because of Big Chungus, we're going to need to take, if we kill Daedalus, the upgrade that gives you more capacity in all of your rooms. So because of that, Tiresome Climb is a little bit less attractive, at least initially, because of our probably ongoing Ember challenges. I'm going to go with Fortify. All right. Vine Grasp, we've already got 2 of those. Engraft, restore 1 health, gain 1 Ember, and draw another card next turn. Or Glimmer. I always do like Glimmer. As of right now, we don't have any really high health units, so it's a little bit less useful because of that. But it is just like a straight up better torch, basically. Significantly better. Let's go for it. I'm always tempted by Glimmer. Alright, if you're just joining us and didn't see the beginning of the stream, I want to remind that we are doing a small preview of some new upcoming content changes. And we're playing a custom challenge in the beta, so this is not accessible. You can't join this share code if you're on the public version of the game. And we're playing with 3 new mutators. So the first one is At Your Service. Start with 2 additional Train Stewards and the Advanced Prototype Artifact. We've got Big Chungus. All units start with +1 capacity. And we've got Fallen Champion. Your run starts without a champion. So we've got no champion, no Dark Forges. All our units are big, and we've got 6 Train Stewards. All right, DD Alex Gaming asks, I know this has been asked 1,000 times, but haven't found much information on it. Are there plans in place for more bosses, levels, clans, cards? Yes! However, I can't announce anything specific at this time. So, yes, I mentioned this briefly at the beginning. We are making content changes to the game. Additions, expansions, so on and so forth. But yeah, you're just going to have to wait a little bit until we can announce something more specific. But I can say we expect in, a few weeks, let's put it that way. I don't have a specific date to announce, but in a few weeks, the first major content update is going to come out. All right, Tiff.com. Sorry for name butchering. Will the game store a full log of decisions? If so, are there plans to expose more of that in the game to facilitate things like replays? Are there plans to open up a web API to the public? So we store all of your decisions locally. That's not all decisions like that are uploaded somewhere where like another player could view it. It's possible that could happen. So replays is something definitely of interest to us, and that's something that we actually have partially supported in a developer's own branch of the game, their own version of the game. That's not really fully ready for prime time, but replays is definitely something that we are considering. We think it has like multiple kind of value adds to the game. One interesting one is, just being able to see cool runs and see how other people played. For example, one of the people earlier was asking, it was Inhaled Parasite, like how to win basically, and perhaps watching like good players' runs would start to give some hints and tips. So I think it's cool from that perspective. I think replays are also interesting as part of our broad like cheat detection. So we appreciate all players that report like in daily challenges or challenges in general. Like if somebody looks like they're cheating, we will ban cheaters, and we have multiple times, many times. I don't even know how many times now. Which prevents them from participating in multiplayer. So if you see people cheating in multiplayer, let us know. And the thing with replays is we could have a replay on every single run. So you could watch somebody else's run, and we can know in the replay if it's even possible for what they've done to actually function. And then if it goes out of sync, if it desyncs basically, it's a sign that they probably cheated. So I think that's a pretty interesting feature. Finally, your question about the web API. We do have an API. It's what the game uses under the hood to communicate about, like, not everything, but a variety of features in the game. And we do have plans to expose that to initially, like, not just anybody, but to select people. So if you're interested in getting access to the API, please join Discord at discord.gg/monstertrain. And you can send me a message. My name on there is Shiny Mark, and then we can talk about it. So we're probably going to be giving access to that very soon, but it's going to be like manual. We're going to give API keys to people that have projects or things that we're like kind of in close contact with, just as a starting point. All right, long answer. Husky709 says, please tell me that Big Chungus is the final Mutator name. It is as of right now. I didn't mean to click down that side of the map. I was just going to highlight Big Chungus again, but hey, let's just give it a shot. Okay, well, let's see what we got. Hellhorn banner. Ooh, Big Chungus is rough on the Demon Fiend, and we're going to have problems in general on our Ember because we have to focus on capacity, so I'd say Demon Fiend is not looking like a good pick. Let's go Horned Warrior. I mean, it's still rough. Any 3-cost unit. Let's go for it. All right. Keylime JF says, what's been your favorite win condition build you've made for a deck to take down Seraph? Oh, I've played so many runs. I've probably played 500 plus runs, you know, in the last 6 months or something. So it's tough to remember them all. I think like some of the funniest runs I've had are what's with the artifact that's now called Sketches of Salvation, and anything else that can like really buff your units. There's a particular card. Let's see. I reset my save game all the time, so I don't know what I have access to here in the logbook, but I want to show something about one of my favorite runs is with... I don't have them in here. I don't have cheats on in this build, so... I don't have developer cheats, I should say. So anyways, there's one of the big demon units in the Hellhorn clan. I think he has 100 attack. I'm trying to remember his name. Consumer of Crowns. And if you have the Collection of Tails, I believe... that may be the wrong one. No, Gurg's Goad artifact. It gives him multi-strike by default, and if you've buffed on top of that somehow, it's even better. And with like Sketches of Salvation, it can summon your units on turn 1. I've had a turn 1, this isn't Seraph, but I've had a turn 1 Daedalus kill where all I had to do was just press end turn, and then Daedalus was dead, which was, I found that hilarious. So there's like some crazy out there types of things like that that can happen in the game, and I love those moments. All right. I'm going to make the decision here, and then we'll start the next battle, and then I'll jump back to the questions real quick. So what do we want to do? So I mentioned earlier to Inhaled Parasite that purging is really important to building a decent deck, so you can't ignore that option. It's important to consider both using gold at the merchant to get rid of cards, and also to pick that type of node on the map as well. All right, so we have 225 coins. We can afford everything here. I mean, we could put multi-strike on the Horned Warrior immediately. His base attack's pretty good. I mean, that looks pretty nice. Then we could either stack even more attack on it or mitigate his weakness of low health with the plus 25 life. All right, well, I think I'm definitely going to put multi-strike on him. And hope that we get Gurg's Goad later, an artifact, which will give him another one. Okay, so then we could just give him more attack. We get more utility value out of that. And hope that post-Daedalus, we can start putting Train Stewards in front of him as a blocker. But it still might be better. We do have Rage to buff him up. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna give him health. Keep him alive longer. We might as well buy this upgrade. It's cheap enough. I'll just throw it on one of the Train Stewards. And I'm gonna purge, I think. I think the least useful card right now, it's probably Torch, because we already have 2 Vine Grasps, and we just took Glimmer. So I think Torch has the lowest utility, I think, of any card in our current deck. We also have Impressive, which we can usually cast for free because we have the Imp Sickle. So I'm going to get rid of a Torch. I guess I could have gotten rid of a Train Steward too. We probably have too many of those. Alright, let's see if we want to do the Pyro Absorbers. Aggressive Amulet, non-boss enemy units get +4. And we get a unit draft. I think we can take that. Let's do it. All right. Crust Forever. Mark, can you talk about the damage preview when hovering a target? I may be mistaken, but it seems to have some limitations as to the state it can display. For example, it does not update when hovering a potential unit placement. Sure, I can talk about that. So that's this little thing here. I unfortunately don't have any direct damage spells. So here I am hovering the Horned Warrior, but I have not placed him. And during that phase, it is not showing the fact that there is something that will change in combat. That's true. So I don't know why that particular case doesn't work. If the developer, Marimo is his online name, who's responsible for that feature, is in stream chat, perhaps he could answer. Yeah, I'm not sure why that particular one doesn't show up, because most other things do. Like if I had Glimmer and I was just hovering it out, we would see the fact that they were going to take damage from that spell. So it's probably something specific to unit deployment. Yeah, I think it would be handy, but there's probably a good reason why it doesn't work that way, and the reason is probably like bugs and the challenge to fix them, but I'm not sure. We can look into that. Thanks for bringing it up. I will say, though, as another little preview, one of the other new mutators coming in the first big content update turns off the ability to see preview. Yeah, I forget what the name is. It's something like do the math or something like that, where you have to do that all. It's going to be an interesting one. You can make some hard challenges with that. All right. Mousecatcher says, what is this capacity change? It's Big Chungus, baby. We've got a new mutator. This is not yet released, but Big Chungus, all units start with +1. Romos Jr. says, will there be runs with more than 2 factions? Kind of. So already in the game, in the public version of the game that's out now, there is at least one concealed Caverns event. I think there's more than one, where you can get cards from other clans while you're playing a run. I don't think we're not planning to allow you to pick like 3 clans at once, but we are still playing with that concept of like getting cards from other clans while you're playing. You know, you're playing 2 of them, and then you can get cards from a 3rd one or something. So as another little preview, I'm not going to reveal too many more of these, but one other of the new mutators that's coming, instead of removing your champion, so we've got this Fallen Champion. For anyone just joining us, we've got this Fallen Champion mutator in play. We have no champion in this run. There's another mutator that gives you a champion from one of the 3 clans you are not playing. So right now I'm playing Hellhorn and Awoken. So if I had that mutator on, I would get a champion from Melting Remnant, Umbra, or the Stygian Guard. All right. Cricket says, are these mutators going to be part of the content update in a few weeks? Yes. No, they're not going to come out earlier. So there's going to be a big meaty update of a lot of stuff, and these mutators are going to be part of that. So it is still a few weeks away at least. All right. Now, what do we want to do here? So I want to play my Horned Warrior. Do I just want to take the damage and just kill this guy? Maybe. Oh, we can play the Pyre Chomper in front. There we go. And we might as well rage him up. That was a nice little turn. Boom, boom. Oh, Glimmer. Couldn't have asked for something better here. Yeah, might as well. Okay, well, I'm just going to play this guy to chump block. Oh, and then we're going to get Transcendib. We're going to get the effect of... Oops, there he is. Pyre Chomper happened again because Transcendimp repeats summon effects. Now we can rage again. Well, we might as well throw this guy out to chump block. It's unfortunately all we can do. Added some armor there, that didn't do anything for me. If we kill that guy with Vine Grass, oh, it's looking good. Alright, we have won the battle. Big Daddy Bowser F8, was there ever plans for an evil versus good mode, playing as the attackers versus player or AI? No. Yeah, we've heard that suggestion a few times, but that was never in the plans. I think it might be interesting. This is not a promise that we're doing this. It might be interesting to do a clan that's like fallen warriors from heaven. That's like one kind of concept that I think is cool personally. I don't know if the rest of my team agrees with that or not, but I think that would be an interesting addition to the game. Because right now, all the 5 clans that are in the game are from 5 of the 9 rings of hell. So there's 4 more clans from hell that are not in the game right now from each of the 9 rings. And I think it would also be cool to have like a fallen angel one maybe on top of that. But you know, adding a new clan to the game is a lot of work, so we can't add a ton of clans. You know, it takes time. It's not easy. We want to add more of them. I'm not promising we will, but I think we may. I want to. I really want to. So it's something we're thinking about a lot right now. All right, what do we get here? We got Hornbreak. We don't really need more direct damage, even though this is a better torch. We've got a lot of stuff like that already. Reinforce is really nice. We don't have a lot of ways to get armor yet. We only have Fortify, so high Ember cost. We don't have a ton of ways to get armor. And Sacrifice Imp, gain 2, draw 1. This is going to be almost always useful because of Imp Sickle, so let's definitely take that. All right. Other things we can do here. So we could take Glimmer again. I don't think that is going to be useful. Sharpen. I like Sharpen, but we're not really going for a spikes-oriented strategy here, and it is high Ember cost again. I do love options, drawing more cards. I like Wildwood Custodian a lot. It's painful with the 2 Ember cost on it, but... Or, not, excuse me, with the 2 capacity cost. However, I think we still broadly have room for it right now in the old train, so let's go for it. And our unit draft. Taking 4 cost units is just 4 capacity cost units because of Big Chungus just doesn't feel like something that makes sense. Even Shattered Shell is like pretty marginal because of that extra capacity. Is pretty damn rough. I'm tempted to skip here. Sweep is nice. Sweep has utility that we don't normally, you know, we're not getting from something else except for Glimmer. But I don't know. I'm going to skip. That may have been the wrong decision, but let's go all in on our stewards. Okay, here we are in the Bogworm's Remains. To the left, we've got a Hell Vent to duplicate a card, another unit, which I don't really care about that much right now. I feel like I want to just upgrade my units more. And we've got Caverns. Or we got an artifact, health, which I don't need, and of course the Caverns are on both sides. So I guess the decision here is, do I want to duplicate a card more than I want an artifact? If I was going to duplicate something, I could duplicate Horned Warrior. That wouldn't be bad. I could duplicate Important Work. That's basically always useful because of Imp Sickle. So that's tempting. Impressive's not bad either. I don't feel like I would want to duplicate that again. I definitely don't need any more Train Stewards. I don't want to duplicate the Wildwood Custodian either due to capacity limitations. I mean, the reason to duplicate Important Work is just that it'll be in my hand more frequently and more opportunities to cast it on turns when I have imps. And when I have an imp, I'm going to increase my Ember every single time because imps cost 1, and I'm going to get an extra card. Or I'm going to get a replacement card, at least, for Important Work. So it's just like getting 1 extra Ember. We are going to be Ember constrained in this run, though. So it's kind of tempting to copy that. But who doesn't love a free artifact? Let's gamble on it. I really want to get Gurg's Goad, which would make the Horned Warrior even better. So, all right, I'll take that one. We didn't need. Let's see what we get. We did not get what I wanted, but we still got some nice stuff. So, Scorching Restraints. Friendly units enter with Rage 3. I mean, Rage on anybody is great. It's great for these guys. It's great for the Horned Warrior. And the improved Firebox gains 7 Ember on the first turn of battle. It's not bad, but feels kind of unnecessary. I mean, if we drew Ritual of Battle or other high Ember cost cards in our hand, we would be able to cast them, which is nice. We also can't play that many units into the train because of our capacity challenges, so... Improved Firebox kind of makes you... Like, I don't think it's that great, personally. Like, it's not bad, but it's just because it's only on the first turn. So you're, like, gambling on, are you going to get your high Ember cost cards on turn 1? If you do, then it's great. But if you don't, then it hasn't really added anything. And what are we on? Battle 3? So there's only, like, 5 battles it's going to add value on. 5 times we're going to get the value out of it. So I think I'm going to go Scorching Restraints. Just seems better to me. All right, let's see what our Concealed Caverns event is. Remains of the once great Rail of the Covenant litter the landscape. One of the rail spikes still contains some lingering power. You could take it and use it on one of your units or enhance your own magical prowess. All right, so, this is great that I got this one because I want to make a point. We get a lot of bug reports about Monster Rail Spike, and the bug reports say, I played a unit and it's gone from my deck. The reason that is happening to you, if you put Monster Rail Spike on in a unit of yours, is it adds Purge. It says so right there. And the tooltip tells you what Purge does. Once played, this card is removed from your deck for the rest of the run. So you get a great benefit from Monster Rail Spike, but it does come at a cost. When you play that unit, you don't get it back. And Spell Rail Spike does the same thing, basically, but for spells. Increases the magic power by 20, which increases damage or healing and adds Purge, and also reduces the cost to 0. So if you have something in your deck you just like don't want anymore, or you want to purge it anyways, you might as well use one of these 2 things because it'll power it up for a brief time, and then you can get rid of it out of your deck. So we have too many Train Stewards. As much as like we want to build around our Train Stewards, we've got way too many of them. So I think what I would do here is put Monster Rail Spike on one of the Train Stewards, not on the one we already upgraded, on a different one. I mean, it's cool. With these Concealed Caverns events, you can actually put them on units that are already maxed out for their upgrades because it's more fun. That's why we did that. That's the only reason we let that kind of rule be broken. But we are not going to do that this time because I definitely don't want my Horned Warrior to purge. So I'm going to put it on a Train Steward. All right, Corvus Mortis says, if you ever do a sequel to this game's setting, might you consider a 4X or real-time strategy set during the Armageddon? Sweet idea. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that, but I do like those genres too. Yeah, we're definitely thinking about strategy games overall in terms of what we do next. So, yeah, we'll consider that. All right, Cream of the Mass asks, actually, I have a game question. If you have the Relic artifact that removes Purge from cards and turns them into Consume, does that work on Monster Rail Spike? It should. Like, I'm like 99% the answer is yes. Some of those like esoteric interactions, I mean, they don't get tested often, so they could have bugs, and if they do, please file the bug and we will get it fixed. But I'm almost certain that it does work. So if we had some way to get Hope for Peace, which is the name of the artifact that you're talking about, let's see if I have it here in my logbook. Oh, I do actually. So if we could get Hope for Peace, cards with Purge have Consume instead, then I think that would eliminate the downside of Monster or Spell Rail Spike. And Cream of the Mass says, can a monster have Consume? You know, it's an important question since it's related to this. My guess is yes. If we got Hope for Peace, this card would say Consume on it now. However, all units already kind of basically have a hidden, they have Consume already. You can only play them once per battle unless you reform them or have some way to bring them back to life. So it would probably say Consume on the card is my guess, and it would remove Purge though. So yeah, I think that's the interaction. I think that's also possible. It's possible that that could happen in a run, and I think that's kind of like a cool esoteric combo, but we love that type of stuff. That's what keeps the game interesting. All right, our data list has Plating Seal, Constructed Explosives enter with Damage Shield. Always annoying. Well, all the things that the data list bombs can do, the Constructed Explosives can do, they're all annoying. So they're spawning in with Damage Shield. Okay, what do we want to do here? Ooh. Check out this combo. So I'm going to play the Horned Warrior. Now I want to play Welder Helper. But I don't want to play him in front because he's going to give his summon ability, apply armor 15 to the front friendly unit. It's going to put armor on himself. The reason why I don't want that is I'm about to kill him. So I'm going to play him in the back, which puts the armor on the Horned Warrior. Then I'm going to Impressive him, which is going to kill the front enemy. And then I'm going to Vine Grasp the Discipled Foot Soldier. And I'm feeling good. Alright, well that's annoying. Definitely didn't want the bomb in the front here, and we have no direct damage. So, definitely I'm going to chump block for sure there. I do have 15 armor, and they're only going to deal 14 damage, so it's not too bad. I'll get my Wildwood Custodian out so we can start drawing some additional cards. These restores are pointless, basically. Oh, shit, I wasn't paying attention. Well, I did not actually want to play the one that had Monster Rail Spike. Or maybe I did. Maybe it's fine. I just wasn't paying close attention to what I was doing. So this is probably why people file bugs on this. Because they're not paying close attention, just like me. So this Train Steward has Purge, and so he's gone from my deck after this battle, regardless if he lives or dies. Alright. Consume spell. We have no consume spells. What do we want to do here? So... Alright, I'm pretty sure we want to play this guy and get the free card. And the free Ember. Trying to decide what else. Let's just start with that. Now I could Glimmer this room and then Vine Grass, and then we're going to get some damage through. Yeah, let's just do that. Alright. Throw some armor here. I think if I rage, I'll kill both these guys, so I'll do that. Alright, that guy's just gonna have to take the damage, so let's see, what else can we do here? Might as well Pyre Chomper, might as well get some more attack here. Kill that guy. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Probably want to slap some more armor on here. That's not what I was hoping for, but it's not bad either. Alright, well, it's already showing his Daedalus is dead. I'm just overkilling him now. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, more Imp combo stuff. Transcend Imp is really good with Imp Sickle. You can get Transcend Imp from Imp Sickle. You know, as if you were watching earlier, that's something that can happen. It's nice to have just yet another one in your deck. More armor is also good. And Impalate, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 15x the number of Imp units in your deck. So right now we have none in our deck, but this does count imps that come from Imp Sickle. So throughout the course of a battle, they would start to get powered up. But I think Transcend Imp is a fantastic card already, and because I have Imp Sickle, it's even better, so we're going to go for that. I don't know if I want any of these guys. Railbeater's not bad. Railbeater is a decent unit to have in front of Horned Warrior because he can push back with his strike ability. He can push back like frontline blockers so that a card like Horned Warrior can attack the more meatier guys you actually want to kill that are in the back lines. Fire WRX says, "Hi Devs, you did expect everybody and his daughter was going to call Volatile Gauge Snecko Eye forever, did you?" Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I played Slay the Spire, obviously, so we're familiar with what's in that game, but I still call it Volatile Gauge. So I have heard everybody and their daughter calling it that. And Volatile Gauge had a different name before that, even on the dev team. I forget what it was at this point, but yeah, I don't know if any of the other developers are here. Then remember that might be interesting trivia. All right, Mouse Catcher says, do multiple Transcend Imps trigger the previous one's summon ability? I think they do, which can get ridiculously out of hand. That's my memory of it. Is that if you cast 2 Transcend Imps, it multiplies it again? Nah, it must not. Because this is not a summon effect. No, well, it doesn't say summon colon here. Maybe it did at one time, and then now it doesn't. I am almost certain that it used to at some point during development, because I remember just how ridiculously out of hand it could get because of that. So maybe we changed it. I can't remember now. All right, I think I might try the Rail Beater. All right, we definitely are going to take the Light of Seraph to add capacity on each floor. The value is just too high here. All right, Crave Choco. I like Choco too. Who on the team was responsible for all the imp puns? It was Redbeard. If it was all the work of one person, that person is too dangerous to be left unsupervised. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, so Redbeard is the writer of the game, so he wrote all the lore and came up with most of the names for things that are in the game. Notably, not the mutators, I think. So he did not name Big Chungus, but he did name all the imps, I believe. And Typho.com, Tiff.com. What other names were pitched for Train Steward? That's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head if I can. I think Train Steward was added pretty late in development, actually. There was no kind of base unit that was in every deck for a long time. And so I think it may have been Train Steward from the start, because we were looking for something generic that felt like it could fit with any clan. It felt like it was part of the train, not part of one of the monster clans from one of the Rings of Hell. That's why it's a little bit robotic and kind of, I don't know, not as extreme as some of the other designs. So I think it might have been Train Steward from the start. We did just have somebody join us on this challenge. This is one of the private beta testers. Hello, Radagasted. Let's give you a haha. All right. What do we want to do here? So we could go to the left. We could purge. We could get a Spell Merchant, and we can get an Awoken Banner, which I don't really want. Or we could go to the right. We could get a Unit Upgrade, which is great. More gold, which is great coins. And Pyre, which I don't care about. So if I was going to purge, what would I purge at this point? Maybe both torches, or a torch and a restore. Both have, I don't think I've cast restore even once with any value in this run. So restore is definitely on my crap list of cards for this run as well. It's tempting to go for more unit upgrades though. We could upgrade the Rail Beater. We could put more upgrades into some of our Train Stewards. And if we went for Merchant of Magic, we could try to lower the Ember cost of a Ritual of Battle. Or we could put Magic Power on Glimmer. Magic Power on Glimmer is always extremely good. I think I'm actually going to go left, and I maybe should have looked at the full map, so I don't know if people haven't found this feature. This is the mini-map, what the dev team calls the mini-map. It's this button in the upper right corner here, or it's a keyboard map to M by default. And we can see what else is upcoming. So, okay, there's more Merchants of Steel. So I want to go to more Merchants of Steel ASAP, which looks like we'll be able to. I just really want to get rid of cards right now. All right, so plus 20 magic power and consume, permafrost. Do I really have any good permafrost targets? I mean, both impressive and important work. Maybe impressive more so is a decent permafrost target to hold it in your hand until you really need it. Transcend Imp is actually that's not a spell, but it's a decent permafrost target too if you can get it on there. Because you don't always want to cast that. If I drew it on turn 1, I don't actually want to use it. I want to wait until I summon some other imps first. Alright, so in terms of reducing Ember cost, I mean, I'd by default just throw it on one of these to increase the utility. We're going to add 20 magic power, and consume. We could put it on torch, just one of these torches, and just make it a better torch for one cast. I mean, yeah, I don't want to put it on Glimmer because I want to cast Glimmer multiple times in a battle, so I'm going to put it on Torch. And I'm going to Emberstone. Sure, I'll just put it on one of the rituals. I don't really feel like I want to put Permafrost on anything here. So I could either re-roll or I could Purge. I'm going to go ahead and use my free Purge here first. I'm going to get rid of a Restore. I'm just going to get rid of 2 restores. I haven't cast a single restore this game yet. Husky709 says, are there any plans for seeded runs? Could be neat to have a seeded speedrun category. So, yeah, it may be non-obvious, but we already basically have that. So from your run history, or at the end of a run you've just played, let's say you played a single-player run, there's a button in the run history that says Generate Challenge that we should probably make more obvious. If you press that button, it generates a share code that has the same seed, and you can share that with whomever you want anywhere in the world, and they can play that run. And they'll have the exact same conditions that you had. So same card picks, same everything. Same artifacts, blah, blah, blah. Same battles, same trials. Unless there's a determinism bug, they have all the exact same things that you would have. It's the same for like custom challenges. If you just go into the custom challenge menu and you design one. Here, I'll just back out and show this real quick. So if you're in your run history, we just look at one of these. So let's just find a single player one. There we go. I mean, this was, I'm sure I was just testing something I just abandoned probably. But if you click this button, Generate Challenge, it takes the clans that you were playing, it takes their level, it keeps the same seed, and then it creates a challenge that you can share with other people. So that's already possible. Yeah, so, and then speedruns in general, we're totally supportive of that. Last I saw, the world record was around 5 or 6 minutes, and all of the fastest runs that I've seen are focused on magic power, not magic power, spell weakness, and the Inferno card. I don't know if anybody's found a way to do a speedrun that doesn't rely on those mechanics. I'd definitely be curious about that, but perhaps there's ways in game that we can support the speedrunning community in an interesting way somehow. Rain X Down says, will the daily have a higher covenant at some point, or will it always be at Covenant 1? Right now, we're thinking of keeping it at Covenant 1. However, there are a bunch of new mutators coming. That's some of what we're looking at right now, which I'll continue this run. So for people who missed this, they didn't see me starting this run, one of the big content updates that we're working on, I'm not going to announce everything that's in it right now, but one of the things we're doing is we're adding a lot of new mutators. Today, as a preview, we're playing with a few of them. We've got At Your Service, start with 2 additional train stores and advanced prototype. Big Chungus, all units start with +1 capacity, and Fallen Champion, your run starts without a champion. So all of these new mutators that we're adding will be part of daily challenges to continue to spice them up with like more variety. And frankly, we're adding a lot of mutators. There's going to be a lot more. So there's going to be a lot more things you can do with that. Let's continue. Radagastad says 5 minutes and 53 seconds. So they are the world speedrunning champion currently, using Shadow Siege and Sketches of Salvation. So, okay, there are strategies that don't use Inferno and Spell Weakness. So that's pretty interesting. I have not seen that one, so I'm sure that's on YouTube. I have to go check that out. Cricket says, do you have any plans to customize a train route? So you mean from the perspective of designing a custom challenge? Is that what you meant? If yes, we have been thinking about ways to expand the ability for players to put more thought into the design of their custom challenges. Just like another example is you could choose what trials, in what battles and what bosses happen at each Ring of Hell. That's something that we are considering. I'd say right now that's not like our highest focus thing on our mind, because as we were just discussing a minute ago, there's features we have in custom challenges that people don't even know exist. So one of the things we're thinking a lot about right now is like, how can we get more people to know about these features of custom challenges, the fact that there is a consistent seed and you can play that, so we get more people playing those runs and enjoying those modes that they may not even know exist. All right. Tahitsu says, any plans for single-player Mutator runs? Yes. I mean, basically, a custom challenge that you don't tell anyone exists is a single-player run. So if even though it's under the multiplayer menu, so if you went here, go to custom challenges, and you just go create. If you don't tell anyone about your share code, then no one's going to find it. I don't think there's people like hunting for share codes right now. So that's essentially a single-player challenge that you can put whatever mutators you want into. You can make a really easy one. You could give all positive mutators. You could give all negative mutators. You can set the covenant level, unlike the daily challenge. So that's really where you can do whatever you want in here. Cream of the Mask asks, important question, why is Tetris so happy? I don't know. I remember talking about that. I don't know why. I do remember the person who was directing the art design for it said they really wanted them to show a lot of teeth. So that must have just been part of their creative vision for why, or like how they wanted it to look. All right. Well, let's think about it. Is there anything else we want to buy? We could purge, or we could re-roll and hope for some more useful stuff in terms of spell upgrades. I think I'm going to re-roll. I did not get what I wanted. So, I've got 130 coins. We could buy everything still. So if you're going to put holdover on something, what would we put holdover on? Either one of these imp cards is interesting, because then we'd have it every single turn to combo with our imp sickle. I mean, I really like Glimmer with holdover because it just has such high utility. If we could put magic power, we didn't get any magic power upgrades, which is making me sad. But it's just like an AoE nuke every single turn that kills a lot of backline guys, especially if you get magic power on it. But I'm kind of curious about exploring it from the imp perspective. So if I was going to put holdover on only one of my imp cards, which one would I do? I feel like important work might actually be better late game. Like, impressive sounds great in the earlier game because it kills in one shot a lot of the time, but that's not true in late game, and we may not be able to buff it to the point where that is true. So important work is always useful, pretty much. I'll just give it a shot. I don't think I've ever done that before, so I'll see what happens. June Coral says, why did you choose to put only one fight between Fel and Seraph? I don't know. It wasn't my decision. If anyone from the dev team knows why, yeah, please let us know. But I'm not sure. I think it was like to try to make it... It's not 9 battles that it adds up to, but there are 9 rings of hell because you start in Limbo. People have asked that question before. There's only 8 rings. No, because Limbo is the first ring. So you start in Limbo, and then you go through 8 to reach the heart. So that's the lore reason. Because you go from 1 plus 8 is 9. That gets you to the heart of hell, the frozen heart. So I don't know the gameplay reason specifically as to why there's only 1 battle there. I mean, partially, one thing I can say is we did have in mind from very early on kind of like a general length that we wanted runs to take in terms of play time. You know, for most people, we wanted them to take around an hour. And the more battles, the longer a run would take. So conceptually, we were trying to tune towards that. So that may have been a factor. All right. I guess I'll put another -1 Ember on the other ritual. And do I want to put magic power on anything with Consume? We can do that again on Torch. Might not be too bad to give these torches more utility. Let's try it. All right. Do I want either of these? Animus of Will scales decently with Rage, although we do have the Seraph that cleanses here. Quick, not super enticing. They both have really low health. I'm probably just going to pass. Alright, here we go. Simultaneum. Sorry if I butchered that. Have the devs considered a separate menu where players can sift through custom runs that other players make so they can search in game for runs the community makes? Yeah, we're thinking a lot about that right now. So right now, to get into a custom challenge that somebody else has made, the friction's probably too high. You either have to find the name of it somewhere, like on the internet or in Discord or something like that, or you have to have a friend just tell you. And if you just want to play single player, you have to go into that menu and create one, which I think is fine, but I think there's probably some friction there for people feeling like, I don't know, some people just never want to create things, and that's totally fine. We want them to still enjoy custom challenges. So we're thinking a lot about some kind of in-game way to browse them in some way. So I don't have anything specific to announce about exactly what we're doing, but we are thinking a lot about that problem right now, basically. All right. I'm going to play one last battle, and then I've got to call my run complete for today. Feel free to send in all the questions. I'll still try to answer every question for at least the next 10, 20 minutes or so. But let's play Protectors of the Clipped. Since this is going to be my last run anyway, or my last battle for this run, for this stream, we might as well turn on Mark of Invasion. Let's see if we can deal with it. All right. Glimmer is wonderful against these things. We've got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of good stuff. Tempted to Glimmer this one just because there's one extra unit in that room in comparison to up here. These guys they don't do that much. I would take some pyre damage that way, but I might take that anyways. What the hell? Let's gamble that we won't need to do that. Okay. Let's see. 5. Okay, I can cast everything, so. Maybe I should have put him down there and impressed that room. I probably should have. Yeah, that would have been better. Oh well, let's do this. Man, it would have really been nice to have gotten a Molten Imp here, but did not. Do we go for greed? I just kill the Collector with Torch? Probably. We could completely prevent all pyre damage if we didn't go greedy. Let's go greed. It's alright. Take a little pyre damage. Something wrong with that. I really don't want to cast my Transcendent right now because we've only gotten pyre increase, which, excuse me, ember increase imps, which is not what I want here. Well, that would have been nice a bit earlier here. Let's see. All right, there's my stronger Train Steward. I'll put him there. Just gonna kill that guy, which will cause him to die. Alright, well, maybe I shouldn't have played that Train Steward. We now can't play any Imps, so that was dumb, because now I've got that holdover Imp Sacrifice card, but I can't play it anywhere because I've maxed out all my rooms like an idiot. So don't do that. If you're looking for tips on how to play, don't do what I just did. Can't play any of those guys. Alright, well I hope my army of Train Stewards holds through here. Okay, well this isn't bad. Keep piling this on. Can't play any of these guys. Can't kill any of my own units. It's not the best play. Let's get rid of that guy. Probably gonna get rid of that guy too. Alright, he's almost dead. It's looking, we're gonna win this battle, so. Alright, I don't want to take any pyre damage. We gotta get rid of those. Hey, there we go. Oh! Hey! Alright. Well, I'm gonna back out. Are there any last questions I can answer before I wrap up the stream? If anyone has any last things they want to ask, I'll give it another minute or so for those to come in. I do agree it would be cool to have some kind of browser here for being able to see interesting, I'll call them share codes or custom challenges, to see what, I'm trying to think of like what types of ways would we want to expose, like these are the most interesting ones, like most played is an obvious type of thing you could do, but there are other things. All right, Tahitsu says, will we ever see spy units that you play on the enemy lines? I don't, it's interesting. Like I've been thinking a bit about that as well with regards to other types of game mechanics that we haven't explored yet, that we could explore within Monster Train. For example, not quite what you said, but similar kind of thought process, like mind control, like taking control over an enemy unit and bringing it onto your side to fight for you, is something that I think is kind of interesting. So we've been exploring just high-level ideas about that type of thing, but yeah, like if that was going to show up anywhere, it would probably show up in either a brand new card or a new clan. So we're thinking about that type of stuff, but nothing to confirm or say for sure yet on. Trey God 333 says, will Covenant be higher in Hell Rush? You can do a custom Hell Rush. So the way to make a higher Covenant level right now, at least, is you can make a custom challenge. You can put whatever clans you want. I'm not going to show mutators because there's secret ones I don't want to reveal, and you can turn Hell Rush on. So if you turn on Hell Rush here, this makes essentially it's like a private Hell Rush, and if you have friends who are playing the game, you can share it with them and all play together, and you can set the Covenant level to whatever you want. In terms of the random matchmaking for Hell Rush, like from the multiplayer menu, right now these are currently only Covenant 1. It's possible we could make that higher. Like what we, I think, don't want to do yet, at least, is fragment the player base more in terms of like, there could be multiple buttons like Covenant 1 Hell Rush, Covenant 2, I don't know, Covenant 10 Hell Rush, Covenant 25 Hell Rush. And if we did that, there would be less people playing the game together simultaneously. So there's like some trade-offs there. And I realize I'm not even showing the game. There's some trade-offs there that I'm not sure if we want to do or not. Like, yeah, if we had like multiple buttons for different Hell Rushes, yeah, I'm not sure. So if there's demand, if there's like global demand, if like everybody wants Hell Rush to be always on a higher Covenant level, well, we could just do that. But for right now, the way to do it, I'll show it again since I was foolishly showing my face and not the game. Choose your covenants or your clans, excuse me. You could add mutators if you want. And then you can change to whatever covenant and then turn Hell Rush on. And as another preview of one thing that we're going to add here, we've had some requests for the ability to control the timers for custom Hell Rushes. We're going to do that. So you're going to be able to slow it down if you want. I think that's the most common request. For the truly like advanced players, you can speed it up too. We're going to let you speed up the Hell Rush timers. So if you wanted to make a Covenant 25 double speed Hell Rush, you could do that as a custom challenge and then invite your friends or invite online communities to come and play with you. All right, Pifona says, are those mutators for daily only or custom as well? So all the new mutators we're adding to the game, all of them will be accessible in custom for sure. Only some of them are going to be in the daily challenge. And the only reason for that is that there are some that are so imbalanced that we just think are fun, that like they just can't go in the daily challenge. It's like it would totally mess up the daily challenge. Anyway, so I don't want to reveal more yet. There's some interesting stuff in there. So most of them will go into the daily challenge also. But the daily challenge runs like a little algorithm to try to create a balanced challenge. And some of these new mutators are just so insane that they can't go there, basically. But all of them will be available in custom challenges. All right, Simulatunum says, what is your personal favorite clan combo? My favorite clan combo. Do I even have them all in single player right now? I keep resetting my save data, which is why I wouldn't. All right, I don't. I think my favorite clan combo is probably... I like Umbra a lot, so it's going to be Umbra and either Hellhorned or Umbra and Melting Remnant, I think are some of my favorite ones. But there's something to love in all of them. I often just play with random at this point. After playing the game for so long, it's just fun to touch them all and try runs with every single combo. But I have not mastered the game to the same level that some of our players have. It's partially because, like I've said this on stream before, I continuously reset my save data all the time to test different things with the team. So I can't experience the normal progression the way that you all do. But I've never beaten a Covenant 25 run, for example. And we have players who have played the game, hundreds of hours already that have won every clan combination on Covenant 25. All right, and Tahitsu says, thanks for answering all the questions. You're very welcome. And I think I'll cut it off there. If you have more questions or more things you want to talk about, please join us on Discord at discord.gg/monstertrain. And also in-game, there is the feedback feature. You can press F8 at any time and then type in whatever message you want and send that, and it goes to the dev team. Thanks for watching today. Hope you liked the preview of the upcoming big content update, which we'll have much more to announce about what's in it and when it's coming out in the future. Not ready to quite announce that yet today. Look for it soon, and thanks for being here. Have a good day. Bye.